Scott Cawthon. Oh boy. Back when Scott was the one developing the Five Nights at Freddy's series, he could have days where he'd bless us with a new teaser, and other days where he would, we'd all suffer. No one was shown mercy. Alright, it wasn't that bad, but just like, come on, let me just segue into the videos, into the FNaF troll games, plus the spin-offs. Now, why would anyone want to watch someone review games like FNaF 3 Troll Edition? I don't know, you're the one who clicked on this video. With all these games, I've actually never played any of them, or even knew what they were about. You see, around when the troll games were happening, I suffered a case of only ever watching Markiplier. So basically, I was like Baldy when looking at these saying, wow, you exist. What if though? What if throughout all these games, there is a hidden gem? One of where it's the most amazing, incredible, life-changing games of all time. Hey, wait, what are you? Hey, no! The hype for Five Nights at Freddy's 3 was unlike any other third game in a franchise. Yeah, eat your heart out, Motocross Mania 3. What did Scott do to capitalize on the hype? Troll the fanbase. The Troll edition of Five Nights at Freddy's 3 was released on February 15th, 2015. The story goes on a now deleted post of his that he was hacked and someone had released FNaF 3 for free on Game Jolts. When downloading the supposed leaked version, you're greeted with this. And now have acquired trust issues. The game itself is a reskin of one of Scott's older games, being There Is No Pause Button, released on May 16th, 2013 for Android with an iPhone and iOS port later on, all of which since have been discontinued. The only difference between this and the troll version is that Freddy's head has been added to the sprite, plus the lives being 99 instead of the original 999. I actually found myself having a fun time with this, plus returning multiple times to try to get a better score, but I was only able to get to level 13 as of the writing of the script. I see myself playing this even after this video goes up, and I suggest you guys do the same. It's of course no masterpiece, but it can definitely create a fun afternoon. I'll be linking this and all the games I talk about in the description if you guys want to try these yourself. Also, because why not, here's a quick summary of what I think of the original There Is No Pause Button. Surprise, surprise, it's also something I enjoy and is the best way to play it, with its multiple game modes plus the option to change its difficulty. This one I played on medium and was actually able to beat it, so there's that. Let's hope these troll games continue to be just as silly and dumb. Five Nights at Freddy's sister location felt like such a mystery back in 2016, with it completely changing the gameplay. It left the fanbase wide open when Scott decided to troll us, as we all assumed the FNaF 3 prank was a one-time thing. On October 4th, 2016, just 3 days before the game was meant to launch, Scott would make a post that would surprise many reading, "Hey guys, I just want to let everyone know what I've decided, and just as a warning, a lot of you aren't going to be happy about it, but please try to understand. Ever since I started making games, I always wanted to be a world builder. I never wanted to make gimmicky games or make things that didn't mean something. I wanted to create experiences that would really have an impact on people. I feel like I got to do that with the first few games, but somehow I feel like I let myself get too dark with this one. Things went sideways, and I look at this game now and am unsure how it will affect people. At the same time though, people want a horror game, and I get that, I understand that. This is supposed to be horror and not kid friendly. So then what am I supposed to do? Release something that offends me just to satisfy those who want to play it? Or take time and effort to craft something that everyone can enjoy? The answer is obvious to me. The problem is that the franchise has grown too much. There is too much of a spotlight on this for me to really do what I want to do. Even the news sites jump all over this and mock me for delaying the game. It just made things difficult, because I don't feel like I can do the right thing anymore. But I think I have a solution. This is the part most of you won't like. I'm gonna release the mature version of the game by itself in sections, not as part of the main timeline, not as part of the lore, and not part of the story. But because I promised that I would, I promised the game, and I don't want to be those developers who endlessly delays their game's release. However, I would recommend for the real fans of the games and the real followers of the lore, wait a few months until I'm ready to make something that everyone can enjoy, and something that can be scary. I'm gonna release the games in chapters, however, not the whole game at once, since it puts the strain on the servers over at Game Jolt, leaving a link right to supposedly night 1 of this version. But you know this video, of course it wasn't. Instead, it's this thing. Basically the same story as last time, where Scott took one of his other games, Sin Survive, released on May 8th, 2014, and added Freddy's head. This 100% wasn't intentional on his end, but I find this to be a cool way of showing us fans what his other works were like before FNaF took over. I mean, if it wasn't for the troll edition of FNaF 3, I wouldn't have really cared to play the original There Is No Pause Button, but enough about that. How was Sin Survive? I mean, it's fine. You have money and you spend it to defend yourself against the animals, and you just keep doing that till you get bored. which for me was until night 10. Really, what do I say about this? It's fun and cute for 5 seconds, but it's pretty obvious the context behind it is more interesting than playing the thing itself. Wow. This one sucks. Yeah, no, it just really sucks. Alright, fine, I'll talk about it. I get these are troll games, and there is no reason to look deep into it, but, you know, if a game is bad, a game is bad. Released on October 28th, 2015, this game truly exists. The way this was released was on the FNaF World website with a hacker named LolsHack claiming to have stolen the files containing a FNaF World update that he would release that night. I played this game twice for a short while, I'll admit. Can you blame me though? Take a look at this footage. Tell me that this looks fun to play. I get it though, it's a troll game, it's really not worth getting so worked up about. It gets me thinking, is there really a fandom all upset when I say I didn't enjoy this and that it sucks? Is there a die-hard community who will come after me because I said I didn't enjoy this? Well, let's find out because this game sucks. Come after me, FNaF World Halloween Edition community. I thought this would be a fun and interesting topic. I really did. Throwing gameplay with a couple of jokes. What is this? What am I doing? God, save the queen! Wait, I actually sort of like this. I'll admit, most of the charm comes from the FNaF PNGs plus whatever the hell this is. I'll also admit, it looks like a Nintendo CDI game. I'll also say I did want to see till the very end of it, which is more than I can say about the FNaF World Halloween Edition. Looking at the visuals, you can tell it's certainly something I imagine seeing after trying Monty's Mystery Mix. Actually, like the other trolls, it's a reskin of Scott's very first completed game, Dolphus, released in 1994. I played a bit of the original and, I mean, yeah, it's definitely the first game. I respect it for its history, but for me, I'm gonna stick with the UCN troll version. There isn't really much I can say about it, as there's only 16 levels that can be completed in 10 minutes. I did notice there wasn't a fake story to go with this, like a hacker coming in, but that could be because at this point he had gotten us with stories like those. Good on him for at least getting this guy. What? No! Wait, this is an actual game? Not meant to troll the fanbase? Yep, we're done with those, and are now entering what technically could be considered spin-offs. The first one is Freddy In Space 2, a follow-up to the minigame in FNaF World called FNaF 57, Freddy In Space. Would that make this FNaF 58? Anyways, a bit of an interesting fact beforehand, Freddy In Space 2 had a teaser poster shown on the FNaF World website on September 29th, 2019, as seen on screen, that caused a bit of controversy with the way the characters were drawn. Personally, I don't see the issue as I can see what Scott was going for, being over the top. As for the game itself, it was made to bring awareness to the fundraiser for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital with a live stream hosted by Game Theory on December 3rd, 2019. The story has Freddy going home to Radiator Springs to see his son after a 7th-month deep space mission until LolsHack, who if you remember was the person who totally leaked this piece of garbage, attacks taking over Freddy's home base. It's up to him to save his son plus his friends to take back what's theirs. There are a total 5 stages from what I'm aware, keyword aware since I stopped after level 3. As for the gameplay, it's more the same as seen in FNaF World, being a side-scroller shooter with upgrades you can get for your gun, though now more fleshed out with new unlocks gained when leveling up from XP you can earn by destroying enemies. In total, I was able to unlock the main gang along with earning $104,300. There's also the puppet plus Golden Freddy you can unlock, but like I said, I stopped after level 3. I wasn't really up for the grinding to level up to get what I needed to beat the next stage, though I'm completely open to the idea. I just really suck at this game, as I played this for 4 hours yet still didn't beat the silly Bear in Space game. There does seem to be quite a bit of content for something that was free and meant to be played once for a live stream in front of an audience, with plenty of secrets to discover. I mean, look, it's the—
Was that the bite of 87?
Guy himself. Jack, was it? In the end, I did find myself enjoying what I had played, however, it wasn't really something I was interested in fully beating. I also really have to respect Scott for dedicating the game to a fan, Skylar Jin, who sadly isn't with us anymore. Rest in peace. There's only one game left though, let's hope we go out with a bang. You think this poster is bad? What if there was a whole game with designs like this? Fury's Rage enters the FNaF series into a side-scroller beat-em-up. It was released on April 28th, 2021, with the reason for this game existing being that the new FNaF game at the time, Security Breach, had been facing multiple delays, so Scott decided to make a game as an apology to tie his fans over. It's a short experience, taking a good 10 to 15 minutes to beat, though that doesn't at all reflect the game's quality for what it is. The art style is pleasing to the eyes, but it's not one that I want to see other people draw, because I know they're just going to add body parts that I didn't want to see these guys have. The gameplay as shown is pretty basic, beating up the enemies until you make it to the end where you fight the final boss. There are 4 stages, with a 5th one being available if you try a hard mode, which I personally have yet to do. I enjoyed my time with this game, and picture myself booting up once in a while if I want something to distract me for a little bit. There isn't really much more I could say about it though, as it was made for fun to keep us fans busy until security breach. Honestly, as a whole, that's basically what you could say to all of these. They were made to be played the same day they were released, and then that's about it. Nothing really to go back to and give deep dives in why it's good or bad. It does create a fun topic as an excuse to go back and look at the franchise to see how Scott was with the community. He had a great sense of humor that I'll miss, since it's pretty safe to say we're past that era of FNaF where Scott could throw in a troll or a spin-off game out of the blue just because, as since then he's taken a step back from the series and letting Steel will take control. Who knows though, maybe Steel can pop a Freddy In Space 3 for fun sometimes in the future, and actually can turn out pretty good, the best in the trilogy, one that could even rival the main FNaF games.
Like, that's never gonna happen.